The Descendants is the newest movie by Alexander Payne, who's a writer-director I've been a fan of for quite some time. He did Election, About Schmidt, and Sideways. And all those three movies, and this movie to a certain extent, has to do with these the male perspective of infidelity a lot of the times. And the movie stars George Clooney playing this guy named Matt King, who is a descendant of Princess Koalani, like hundreds of years before, and their kids had their kids, and their kids had their, and he owns this large property in Hawaii that has been untainted by tourism, and he's being pressured to whether to sell this property to different contractors, or should he give the land back to the locals and keep it traditional. At the same time, he's dealing with the fact that his wife has just recently been in a boating accident. His wife, who apparently is this kind of wild and crazy, adventurous woman, who you never actually see do anything like that because she's in a coma the whole movie. He is dealing with this, and his daughter informs him that the reason why she doesn't really care whether or not her mom wakes up is because she found out shortly before she was in the coma that she was cheating on him the whole time. So he has a lot on his plate, and he has a lot to deal with. One of his daughters is a drug addict, a recovering drug addict. The other one is a preteen that's going through hormones and changes, and he's, you know, kind of a distant father who doesn't know exactly how to deal with all that. So this has a lot of the things you'd like to see in an Alexander Payne movie, and I think he's very, very good at dealing with characters, and he's very, very good at dealing with actors. He's kind of like 50-50. Every character, even once you think you have them figured out, they like to show another side to them. And I think it's a trick they almost play a bit too much in this movie, actually. And you got some good side performances in there by Robert Forster, who plays the father-in-law, and strangely enough, the resurrection of Matthew Lillard, and Judy Greer playing his wife. I like this movie a lot, but I have to say it's probably my least favorite Alexander Payne movie. Yeah. There's a lot to like about it, but I don't feel like any one thing is particularly amazing. None of the I think George Clooney gives a good performance, and he could very well win Best Actor. It's between him and Gary Oldman, honestly. But I feel like his performance is good, but it's George Clooney good. You know, it's not exceeding anything else I've seen by him. And I feel like the cinematography is nice, but it's not especially amazing. Although it is kind of nice that they filmed this in Hawaii, but it's not the bright tourist Hawaii you normally see. You kind of see the back streets and the dirt and the filth. But what I think this movie does have is it has an accumulative effect, where every little thing that's only okay kind of builds up by the end of the movie as being something that actually had me pretty moved. I think the last shot of this movie also is very nice. Yeah. It's a nice movie, so I give it a B+.
Yeah, I give it probably just a solid B. I love George Clooney in it, and if you've ever had to watch The Secret Life of an American Teenager, this is the most fantastic acting that girl has ever done.
Is she the one who plays Alex, the older daughter?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, actually, she was very, very good in it.
Yeah.
I believed her.
Shailene
the younger daughter almost ruined the movie for me.
Yeah, well, she's 10.
She is 10,
it's hard for 10-year-olds to pull off much of anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, luckily she didn't have very many speaking roles.
Yeah.
But no, really liked the comedy in this. It's a very serious movie about about death and cheating and a lot of huge subjects, and it's all piling on this one character, and you're like, oh my goodness. And
almost kind of like the Coen Brothers, A Serious Man, in that sense.
Yeah,
it's just one bad thing after another.
It just keeps going, but then there's like these couple great moments of just good comic relief where they've got this boyfriend of Alex, and this guy's stoned to
stoner surfer kind of.
This guy is just awful, but it's just he just says things that really idiotic people will say, and you're like, wow, I know someone who would have said that, and he gets punched for it, which makes it even better,
by Robert Forster.
Yep. I mean, it's just he's a clueless little comic relief, but he's not like the Rob Schneider kind of comic relief, where you're just like, or the Jar Jar Binks, actually makes sense in the movie, which is good. And then you got, but I think there's too much on George Clooney's plate in this movie that I eventually kind of got like, okay, can something else not go wrong for this guy? I mean, he's got the entire island, the entire Hawaii is looking at him to sell this land. Yeah,
a lot of pressure.
So he's in the tabloids almost basically, and then he's got Matthew Lillard to deal with. So there's just so much going on in this, but I still think I thoroughly enjoy. Like I said, I felt good. Had that George Clooney charm to it.
He doesn't do poor at all. He brings what he can bring.
So it's got that Fantastic Mr. Fox kind of charm to it. Not quite that comedy level.
Kind of a family drama, yeah.
But
where would this rank for you in Alexander Payne's oeuvre?
Well, I didn't like About Schmidt very much at all, but since I love Sideways as an election, I guess it would be third.
Third for you? Okay.
Yeah.
I tend to like Alexander Payne a little bit more when he's a little less schmaltzy and a little bit more biting and cynical. Yeah. So, and I think this is probably his schmaltziest movie. But it's certainly, it's nice to see him working again. It's been a while since he's made a movie.
Dude, Sideways was a while ago.
Yeah, Sideways was back in 03, I think, 03 or 04.
Nice.